Hello and good evening to another Swis and John show. My name is John and I'm joined here with my friend Swis. Swis, how are you?
Hello, Jonathan. Good to see you again.
Isn't it a beautiful spring evening also in Geneva?
Yes, it's okay. It was rainy a bit. It's getting a bit more cool because it was like 25 a few
Mhm.
days ago, which is way too much for me already. So this is really good, and yeah, the weather is good, and the watch world is also really good right now. What do you say?
Yeah, I would say that we had an interesting week and weekend, and I hope that we can show some incredible watches. I heard that you did some groundwork in
Yes.
Geneva.
So as usual, all the auction houses, they present their lots to the public for a few days, and I was able to go to the Christie's auction presentation, followed by the Phillips. Um, some very interesting watches indeed. I took some nice photographs, which if you want, we can go through afterwards.
Yeah, one second. I just wanted to say hello to Chris, who is rightly complaining that we're a little bit late. Apologies for that. Jamie Opulent says, hello, gentlemen and Jonathan. Thank you very much for that. It's much appreciated. Swiss, before you were showing the images, I wanted to address to something. You know, I'm really proud of this show that we are doing now for over a year together,
Mhm.
and I think there are some people. I'm not sure if it's too outgoing to say that that this show is life changing, but yesterday something happened which falls into that category, and I just wanted to show you that.
Okay.
So one of the largest Patek Philippe fanboys actually left a message yesterday on Archie Luxury. This fanboy is Patel Philippe, better known as Tanzil, and he wrote a super chat saying, "Lange wipes the floor with those Patek watches." What do you say about that?
I say that is very interesting coming from a Patek fanboy.
Yeah.
Maybe just as a peasant who finally saw the light of Jesus from the settlers.
So
You have managed to show the light
yeah.
to our friend Patel Philippe.
Maybe I should change my title now. When
Yes.
I'm able to make people see the light and change their lives, I think this is big news, don't you think?
I think it is.
Oh, oops! What happened here? Lange wipes the floor with those Patek Philippe. Okay, now hop on, Higgy, you fiker, Ponya. Okay, I like this one better. Okay, so you have some pictures in the magazine, and
Yeah.
should I pull your stream up, or can you do that?
I don't know. Maybe you want to have a quick chat about the auction in general. Um, if it was your intention, I don't know.
Um, I'm not sure how long will your presentation be. The topic for tonight.
Can be 10 minutes
Mm.
or 30 minutes, whatever you want.
Yeah,
I
let's
have a
try.
bunch of them.
Yeah, let's try to keep it for 20. I think it's more interesting to see watches in real life than pulling up the auction. So let's start with this hammer, and I think it will be
Okay,
a good idea to start with your show. Can you pull that
sure.
up, or
Oh
or
yeah,
should
yeah,
I do
yeah.
that?
So there we go. StreamYard is not the easiest when it comes to screen sharing, especially when, like me, you have only one screen. So I'm doing some kind of contraption on my own computer to share this. But if it turns out wrong on the stream, just let me know. So I think this. So it's funny, but you go to the Phillips auction, and every year or every time, it's like twice a year, once in May and once in November. When you look at the catalog, it's always the same watches. There's always a bunch of vintage Daytonas, a bunch of vintage Submariners, some vintage Pateks, and some hype watches, and that's that's basically it, right? So all the watches that we already seen before, like, okay, there's there's a very pristine Patrizzi Zenith Daytona. Oh yeah, there is a Paul Newman Daytona. Oh, look, there is a very old Platinum Nautilus. Yes, yeah, very nice. Okay, but we saw it 10,000 times, right? I only tried to pick up the watches that I thought were, well, first of all, very nice, because I mean, they are not all very nice. I picked up the very nice ones and some that we didn't see that much before. So right here, what is this? So first of all, you can see it has a Hunter case back. And it is very old. I think it was done in the early 2000s. I'm not sure about that. I'm not a FP Jaune connoisseur, but this is FP Jaune. You can see it over here. Can you see the cursor?
You can also see it from the crown.
Yeah, you can see here FP Jaune, Tourbillon, number 15. And this is basically a big tourbillon cage, which is very, very beautifully made. You can see that now it has rotated slightly. Very reminiscent of early pocket watches design. It is big. I think it's 43 or something like this. So you can see that there is definitely a lot of space in this movement. And I think in terms of aesthetics, it's very, very good looking. What do you think?
I like the movement construction. I like that tourbillon cage, which is certainly unusual. So it has a double mainspring barrel. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it looks like that. So how does it look from the front?
Oh, actually, I didn't take a picture of the front because the front is very bland.
Is that from the recent auction that finished today and yesterday?
Yeah, yeah. That's from today's auction. It's just two hands with small seconds, and that's it.
Oh yeah. So, okay. Yeah, I know what
if you just searched Jaune.
Yeah,
I think there was a bit less. The amount of jaunes was a bit less than usual, but I think most of the jaunes were.
Is it the one that I have in the background?
Yes, it is. So you can bring it up, and it's interesting to see also the price that they. You just fiked it up.
No, I didn't fike. I'm not fiking anything.
Okay, there you go.
Oh, that's the watch.
Yeah,
I have it on the big string. I think it's nicer than having that.
I do like this. Very nice, very classic from the front. Beautiful watch from the back. Two-tone. Why not? I like it. Yeah, there you see. That's a slightly better photo than mine.
I must say, but it's a little bit dirtier, isn't it? It looks here very, very tarnished and dirty.
Yeah, well, it is. It is on mine too.
Okay.
So tell me, what price did it got?
381,000 Swiss francs. Does this come with the fees on top, or does that include the?
No, it's included.
Okay,
so that's what the final price was.
The final price for the buyers. Okay.
That's a lot, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a lot, but as far as I know, this is one of the very early watches from FP Jaune.
Yes. Yeah.
And very unusual. So also a very low number. Let me check the
15 on over 99.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, 15 of 99 years. So it is 2014. So it's not that
Oh,
that early.
2014. Okay.
Yeah. Says
Yeah, that is more
2014.
recent than I thought.
Yeah. I'm surprised that he still made those back then. Look at the 15 engraving here in the at the Hunter caseback.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, very interesting. So 40 millimeters, wasn't it a little bit large on your wrist? Did you do a wrist
Yeah, it
swap?
was too large.
Okay.
Way too large.
Okay, what else did you see?
So next one, it is from AP.
Now we're
And,
talking skeletonization.
Yeah, so it's not a flying tourbillon because you can see here it is held on both from the back and from the top. Flying tourbillon is when this, nowadays you don't have this bridge anymore.
Yeah.
But I think this bridge is nicely done. What I think is interesting is to have a closer look to that frontal plate, because when you see pictures about this watch, rarely they try to look at the finishing on this plate. And from far, because the top is brushed, right? You can see vertical brushing. I always thought it was a bit unfortunate, or maybe a bit of a mistake of design, but and it cheapens the watch a bit. But when you take a closer look, you can see those beautiful anglages everywhere. They didn't miss a spot. Well, maybe here, but whatever. And you can see that it is very consistent over the whole, the whole watch. And I think this is really nice. It's nice to put the attention to those beautiful details.
Yeah, what I also find significant that they started very early outfitting those complicated movement in the Royal Oak line. I think AP were the first ones to do that.
Oh, that's a nice photo. Yeah, and also
Patek Philippe didn't have those complications for a very long time in the Nautilus. Is that correct?
Well, they never made a tourbillon in the Nautilus.
Yeah, exactly. That would have been the next question. Did they ever do a tourbillon in the Nautilus? I don't think so.
No, not that I know of. I think the best they have ever done is the perpetual calendar.
Yeah. Okay. That was in steel, this AP?
Yep, in steel. Or maybe... Yeah, no, I think it was in steel. I'm not sure yet, but doesn't really change my opinion. Oh, so next one.
Oh, Grönefeld.
Grönefeld. And I want to show, just pull your attention to how gorgeous this movement is. I mean, just have a look at it. And it is, let me show you the front, not this one. I have it somewhere else. Oh, there it is. It is the remontoir. So, jaune, I think, is the number one that pops in your head when you think about remontoir.
Yep.
And what Jaune did, which I think is very clever, is that they have a remontoir that is delivers energy exactly every second. So it also acts like a second hand. But you can see here that it says 8 seconds remontoir. And they show it here on the dial. So you can see it release the energy every time. And it is every 8 seconds. It turns out that on this very photo, you can see that it was spinning the moment I took the photo.
When you took the photo, okay.
Yeah, and maybe, here too. And there you can see that it's not spinning. So most of the time you would see it just like that, sitting still. And every second it just does zzz, a very quick spin, and it releases all the energy.
Am I wrong, or is that dial done by Karivutilainen?
I could not say. I'm not sure about that.
I'm not
but
sure about that
it
one
is
either.
very well done, and it is very reminiscent of a Putilainen dial.
Yeah.
So you
So-
might be correct. I'm not sure.
So I must research that, because it just came to my mind. Maybe someone in the audience knows that. So what I really find cool is, you see that bridge for the remontoir, which is the index.
Yeah.
So the index serves as the bridge for the remontoir, which is really cool. But now here comes the question, because you're one of those fundamentalists who wants the clean, symmetric dial layout like no one else. Does
Yeah.
this bother you or not?
So ideally, I would like to have this on the back,
Okay.
but I do understand why they actually did this, because it's actually now, I think this is now a part of the identity of this watch. You know, it's that
Yeah.
you can actually see them. And Jaune does it too, right?
Yeah.
In the Jaune, usually when there's like the tourbillon souverain, you have tourbillon here, the time there, and there's like a small opening on the bottom, so you can see the remontoir doing its thing. So I think people really like that.
What is your guess? How many of those owners of Grönefeld and FP Jaune really know how a remontoir works?
I don't know.
And what
I
the
think they
purpose
were
is?
explained once and they forgot the next day.
Exactly.
And look, it looks good on my wrist. Yeah, it's still big, but it actually looks really good.
Yeah, I must say, I also like the contrast, which is not there when you are ordering the Principia. So it's a beautiful watch. Unfortunately, totally sold out. And maybe the viewers realized you showed the movement, and I couldn't see the letters, but immediately you can see that this is Grönefeld. From the movement finishing, from the movement construction, there is nothing else. So it's very distinctive.
Let me
and
go back
very
to the movement very quickly. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Yeah, that movement is glorious. You can see Grönefeld, and the remontoir would be over here. So you can see here there is some strange palette forks, right? You can see a tiny ruby there, a ruby there, and all this mechanism right there. It is basically it acts like another escapement, but an escapement that works every 8 seconds.
Yeah, this ruby hammer releases it, I think, every 8 seconds after getting the impulse from the remontoir. So you can see that toothed wheel. I think that big wheel is connected directly to the second hand, isn't it?
I think it is. Yeah, I'm not sure myself. I'm not a professional watchmaker, but I mean, look at the finishing. Everything is just so goddamn beautiful.
Anglage galore we have.
Even here, like even those big wheels, they have anglage everywhere.
By the way, do you know that there is a new seal of excellence for wristwatches, which is harder than the Geneva seal?
Oh, no? What is it?
It was introduced last
is it
week.
new? Oh,
yeah,
last week.
It is the Higgins the Higgins one second. The seal of Higgins for international timepieces. Short-term shit.
Shit.
The seal of Higgins for international timepieces.
Wow.
So,
shit.
Yeah, we're working now on a seal, and we will slap that.
Okay. Tell me when you find a fitting logo. I'm very curious about it. By the way, why is that a cruciform? I don't know that, but
I don't know either.
Right.
We have here TP Bob. I don't know him, but he upvoted. Thank you very much. Much appreciated, guys. If you like the show, when you enjoy the content, please
Maybe
upvote.
this is to show that it screws backwards, but usually they use 3 stripes. When you see a screw head that has 3 stripes, not just 1, but 3, it means that it screws backwards.
Oh, okay.
So you don't you don't put crazy amount of force asking yourself why it's stuck. It's just that.
Oh, I didn't know that. So thanks for the information.
And maybe this is other way to signify this. So yes, very impressed by this Grunefeld. Oh yeah, next one. I had to.
Your favorite.
I had to get one of those. The famous bathroom scale watch.
This is such a boring watch. It's unbelievable.
What do you mean boring?
It's
There's
even
nothing
more
boring
in real life. Come on.
This is awesome. So people who are familiar with the show, they know that I love this watch. I love the jumping hour. I love the retrograde. I love the shape. I love the fact that it's quirky, and most people, they shit on this watch, even though they shouldn't. The guillochage is beautifully made.
I must say that is nice that it comes from
the movement. Wait, let's. Yeah, there we go. The movement is very nicely finished with some beautiful detail. Vacheron Constantin engraved by hand. It is called the Saltarello. Yeah, Geneva seal. Can we see it somewhere? Should be somewhere else. Oh, there it is. Well, whatever my my photograph could pick up out of it.
Mm-hmm. And the JLC movement with the
yes, the famous JLC that was made exclusively for Vacheron AP and Patek.
Yeah, the
ultra thin automatic.
I think Vacheron calls it 1120. Is that correct? I think
yes.
JLC is 920
and JLC 920, Vacheron 1120, AP 2121, and Patek, I don't know. So yes. Now
I just wanted to pinpoint the viewers to that rotor construction of that JLC movement, if you don't mind.
Sure.
So usually you have that rotor that you can see in the lower part, but because this thing is so thin and delicate and fragile, this central pivot can't carry the large mass of the rotor. So what JLC did, they added an additional rim, which is 100 degrees, and that stabilizes, and that ring, it's virtually sitting on a ring, that rotor mass. It runs on roller bearings on the side. Can we see one? I think there is one.
No, we can't. I don't think we can. They are so basically this rotor ring. So the rotor sits on a ring. You can see it's screwed on the ring, and the ring itself, it rotates on top of some tiny ruby wheels, and it is a very, very clever construction
They're
method.
called ruby rollers.
Yeah,
not wheels.
I don't think we can see it there, but yeah. I think it's a very clever way to make sure that the rotor can be as close as possible into the movement itself, and to keep everything super thin. We have to note that this movement, which was engineered in the 60s and 70s, is still to this day the slimmest automatic movement with a full rotor, because there are slimmer ones, but they use micro rotors, obviously. So this is impressive. It's a real piece of history.
And I'm still really upset that Vacheron didn't use that for the 222.
Yes, and I'm upset that now AP has discontinued it from the Jumbo.
Okay. That is
Okay,
not
next.
really surprising the way AP goes. Okay,
Yeah,
now
because they
Benjamin
wanted
Robinson
something
wrote,
in-house
"Show me
now.
the Lange."
Lange. So this is maybe you can explain to our people why this one is more special than any regular Lange.
Well, from what I know, this is a two-tone blue dial, so it's not uniformly blue. This has darker subdials where the time is and where the small second is, which gives such a nice contrast and such a refreshing, vibrant look. And those are really scarce. Did I get that right, or did I screw that up?
No, it's true. By the way, you can see it. I was already explaining before, right? But when you go to the Philips presentation, basically you have all the watches. Here you can see the Grönefeld over there. And you go over there and you say, I want to see this, 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 and this. And they say, okay, no problem. And they just bring everything into a tray. And then you can just play with it.
That's fantastic. It's such a
Actually,
nice
really
contrast to the AP experience, isn't it?
Yeah. So I don't have a photo of the back, but it's beautiful
Was
as
that
always.
part of today's auction? I think it was.
Yes. This is part of Philips. Yeah.
Let's
see how much it it got.
that is what I'm trying, but my browser crashed.
So I was thinking 60,000. Maybe is it too much or not?
No. I think that was the price that it has reached. 1 second. Let me just try to find it. And of course, I'm too lazy to use the search function now. But this is.
Oh, I think
that's not it, isn't it? Because that is uniformly blue. I think it was not part then of the auction.
I think it is. I don't think there were two of them. The thing is, it is very dependent on the incident light. So in some lighting, it is uniformly blue like that, and in some others, it appears two-tone, which I think is even better. It's even more clever.
I'm not sure. I'm
not sure.
I'm not sure. To be
so
honest.
Why don't you search for another one?
Yeah, I will do that. Give me a second. Okay, that should be easy. Let's search for it. So makers, Lange & Söhne. There's nothing else.
Yeah, so it was that one. What's the price of that?
Wasn't it from the online auction? So that was 57,000 Swiss francs, including.
Oh, I was close. Yeah. Wow. Okay. That's a good price, but we have to stress that this watch is very exclusive because it was made in a very limited amount.
Yeah, let me check.
I don't remember if it was like a boutique edition or if it was something special, but I know that they are not easy to get.
Yeah. So here the essay says it's not a limited edition. The Blue Series was produced only in low numbers, but I would bet that this is not the watch from the auction. However, it is a blue dial, so it's really strange. It's also the blue strap that you see here on your picture.
Mm-hmm.
Or is yours? No, yours is brighter, isn't it? What do you think?
I don't know, but I think we should go to the next.
Yeah, I agree. Watch. Okay, unsolved mystery.
Don't hesitate to tell me if we are putting people to sleep.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Next one is very interesting. The Beaver watch, very cleaving, if I can say that. Yeah, not the most classic design, even though I remember in the interviews when Biver was hyping up his work, he was like, "Oh, we are gonna do the most classic, the most high-end, the most beautiful, blah 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 watch you've ever seen." So complicated, yes. High-end, yes. That's not a very classic design, and many people actually really don't like it. I think it looks good on photo. When it was in my possession, it was a bit weird, especially the bracelet.
The bracelet and the transition, those lugs, that really looks awful. I'm sorry for being the.
I mean, just the scale of it, it's huge. Yeah. It's a very big watch. It's really, really huge. So at least me on my tiny wrist, it was a bit too much.
You know, what I really don't understand those lugs. It really looks like they didn't give it any attention. They look really cheap and really out of place. And I've said it before. I was really waiting that Biver would blow my mind with something spectacular, innovative, crazy, and he made that traditional, boring design.
Yeah,
and I'm really disappointed from it.
Right.
That tourbillon bridge actually looks nicer than on the images. I must
This
say.
is really nice. I mean, look at the work, the transition here, the multiple faceting and polishing. I mean, when you take it under the microscope, it looks super nice. But the watch in general, as a watch, I can understand. See how it protrudes out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can see exactly what you're meaning.
So how was the weight? Because this is entirely titanium.
Yeah, lightweight.
Okay.
Quite lightweight. Yeah.
Okay, guys. So this watch finished hammered for 1.27 million Swiss francs.
Yeah.
I think retail is around 550.
Yeah, half a million. Yeah, something like that.
So, but they promised together with this watch the full package, the full Biver experience. Can you tell us about that, Swis?
Yes. So look at this configuration right here. There. So this is full titanium, titanium case, titanium bracelet. And the dial is obsidian. So it's a stone dial basically. And this is a piece unique for the auction. I think it started as the prototype, and then they refinished it and refurbished it so it can be a piece unique.
So this is a test mule which has been polished up.
And it is a piece unique configuration, the full titanium with the obsidian dial. And whoever was buying this watch was also buying basically the rights to this configuration, meaning this configuration will never be made again by Biver, but only if the client wants another watch with this specific configuration. And he, and only he, will have the possibility to order a watch with this configuration. Right?
Yeah.
So the guy who bought this basically bought a full collection of piece unique watches.
Yeah. So
which I think it's super cool when you think of it. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, I agree. If you're a fan of Biver and really love that thing, it's not for me. I apologize for being the grumpy German.
And I heard some people saying that it was basically like when Jon was doing his subscription when he was beginning his first watches. So when Jon started, because he had no money, so he said, "Okay, you can buy my watches, but you will basically subscribe to my watchmaking." And every year, well, it wasn't every year, it was every now and then we will put out a new model, and you as a subscriber, you will have the possibility to buy this watch, etc., etc. And I think this really entices the client to, continue his journey with Bivet. And I think it's really cool. Because of that, it gives you the insurance that Bivet will look out for you, because you are now a very important client, and I think this is super nice.
Okay, so now big question. Did you try this watch that I have here on the screen?
No, I did not.
Why not?
Because I already saw it 10,000 times.
Okay, I thought that you would enjoy. Did you ever try on a steel one?
Yeah, of course, many times.
Okay, I didn't know that. Okay.
They are awesome, super awesome.
Mhm.
But as I said, every Phillips auction, there is at least one or two in steel, two-tone, whatever. So I already saw it 10,000 times. So why
No,
should I see
you
it
haven't
even more?
seen that 10,000 times. I promise you that.
What's special about this one?
So this watch sold for 580,000 Swiss francs.
Oh, it was the white gold one.
Yeah, that is the
Yeah.
only 222 that
Yes.
that has been done in white gold, and
True.
it came under the hammer today, reached 571,000 Swiss francs.
Man, that's a lot.
The
Wow.
story of the watch is quite interesting. Did you hear about that?
No.
How this watch came into existence? So it seems that a rich client, ultra VIP, he wanted a diamond covered 222. So Vacheron made then this watch in white gold, and then wanted to start setting it, but for some reason the client then defaulted, so they kept it that way.
Okay, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're true. You're correct. I did not see this 10,000 times.
You should have put that on your wrist because it's heavier, and yeah, probably.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I had many in yellow gold, so
Yeah.
to me it
So-
doesn't make that much of a difference.
Yeah, but when we were talking 222, they had a two-tone and also a steel one. Steel one went for almost 90,000 Swiss francs. Crazy price.
Yeah. Remember when it was like under 10?
Nobody wanted those. Exactly. Yeah. Nobody wanted those. And the two-tone, in my opinion, is a little bit nicer, but a little bit more common as far as I know. It's 63,500. This is, in my opinion, one of the rare cases where the two-tone is nicer than the steel one.
I'm not a fan of the two-tone.
It says presentation box, but it doesn't show it. Let me check, because I'm curious how the presentation box looked like back then.
I do not know.
1 second, let me try to find it on the steel one, or maybe the white gold has the presentation. No, doesn't have it. Now let's try the white gold one. Phillips webpage is a little bit laggy. I apologize for that. No. Nice case back, however. Okay. So let's have a look at some of those watches that have been auctioned this weekend, if that's okay for you.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so we browse through and stop with interesting pieces that we find interesting. Is that okay?
Yeah.
So we have a Bulgari Octofissimo with a sketch dial. Did we talk about that so far?
No.
I really like that sketch dial. They only made 200 of that, and I think that is super cool.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
No?
Like, not at all.
Okay. Went for 17,000. I think they sold them for 12. So, yeah, quite interesting. So yeah, we have the pedal. I found that interesting because that is the 2023 limited edition, and somebody was immediately flipping it. I think they sold it for 30,000 or 33. Now it's sold for 106,000 Swiss francs.
That is crazy. 100,000.
Yeah.
Damn.
Somebody made some coin by
That
flipping
is stupid.
immediately. Yeah.
Holy shit.
So here we discussed that yesterday on Archie Luxury. I've never seen that annual calendar with a red dial. Have you seen that before?
No, but it's not very good looking in my opinion.
Yeah, this was a salmon dial, and actually something happened with it. I would say they call it tropical. I call it water damage.
I like the color, but I don't know. I don't like it on this model. But the color is interesting. Maybe it was I don't know, was exposed to light, or I don't know.
I don't think that light will be enough to change the color that way. But probably some of the annual calendar users, owners who own the salmon dial are now trying to convert it into a red one. You never know. So you tell me if you want me to stop with something. One of my personal favorites here, 5170p, always nice with a baguette diamond dial. The blue, I think that is for me. I really like those baguettes because from a distance you're not seeing them as baguettes. They look like batons. Have you ever tried that watch on?
No, I'm not interested enough in that watch, and I don't like that the subdials are slightly down compared to the center of the watch. Bothers
the
me a
hanging
bit.
ball sack effect.
Yeah, but in general, it's a very beautiful watch, and
You
the
know,
blue is very striking in real life.
You know, I really hate to say that, and I was asking Tanzil today, this or a datograph, which one would you go?
This.
Tanzil said also this. Jamie Opulence, of course, said this. I'm still stubborn and say datograph because of the horological value. But I have to give it to Patek. Their chronographs very often have beautiful dials with beautiful cases with beautiful lugs.
Yeah.
Super elegant, super slim, while the datograph is a little bit more blocky. To word it positively, a little bit more substantial. But more substantial is not always good. Okay, so here is the datograph that went for 228,000 Swiss francs. Only one reason, because it has that silver dial. Datograph or datograph usually comes with a black dial. That has been done for a retailer in Pisa, only 10 pieces, and so this is obviously very rare.
So very, very exclusive combination.
Come on, Swiss. How can you choose that 5170 over there?
Well, just go back to the 5170 and
you
have
a heart of stone, Swiss. Okay, let's show the movement of the 5170. But I know that you will tell me it's all about the dial.
It's all about the dial.
Come on, but look at the movement by comparison.
Yeah. Obviously, the Lange has a more striking movement.
Yeah. However, Tanzil still insists that those screw heads are black polished, and we're still working on the truth.
The truth will come out.
So actually, he received a reply from Patek Philippe in Canada, and they were skirting around the issue. They told him the screw heads are mirror polished along to the explanation that is on on our webpage. So they didn't call it black polished, they called it mirror polished, and were referring to the explanation, which is on their webpage. But there it says mirror polishing, and then the next sentence is black polishing. So we are still working on that.
Right.
So we have here a comment which is very interesting. Aunt G says that cap on the Patek is very annoying. I think he's talking about that cap here that covers the column wheel.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't developed this particular movement, but I would guess that Patek discovered that there is a problem with horizontal play with this column wheel, and they wanted to avoid that. That is my guess why this cap is there.
Hey, look at Dodger's comment.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Dodger.
There you go.
Yes,
one more who has seen the light.
Yeah, Dodger was bringing his illuminated loop. Guys, I can't put it side to side. Oh, I will try to do that. 1 second. Let me open that on a new tab. And then I'll open this, and then I'm gonna open the Lange in a different tab, and then you can see the one-to-one comparison, and that explains why I would go with the Lange datograph even with the black dial. 1 second.
Yeah, but you prefer it on a black dial, right?
Yes, I would. Here, have a look.
But even with the exclusivity, you would choose the black dial.
Yes, visually, I like the black dial more. Come on, Swis. This is not even close.
No, I agree with you. The Lange movement is more appealing than the Patek movement. That's clear.
Okay, let's continue. We're only at number 8, and
so let's go a bit quicker.
Let's scroll down here. Patek Philippe perpetual calendar chronographs. We all know them. We've all seen them.
Right.
Here is an interesting Milgauss, one of the very first ones. It went for over 57,000 because of the fact that it doesn't have loom. So the first ones are supposedly developed for CERN scientists, and they didn't want to have loom material on the dial. Later models had it, so that makes it a little bit more special. So let me check.
We have a comment from our friend Patel Philippe.
1 second. Can you read that while I'm trying to?
Yes, so Patel Philippe says that the cap on the Patek movement is here to prevent Higgins from getting too excited about Swiss watchmaking. It's basically a safety feature for our German friends.
You know, Tenzil, I appreciate the comment. I just have one reply to that.
And he is adding that he will watch the show replay when he is at home. Enjoy, Swis and John. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Then it's too late. He can't go after me anymore. Yeah. Okay, so Thomas Burnett is saying he loves the 1019. 1 second. No, I fucked it up. Too many clicks. So yeah, he loves that Milgauss. Another significant timepiece, in my opinion, was this here, an Albino Explorer. Never seen that. Have you seen that before?
No.
Went for over 100. Why doesn't it pull it up? Come on.
Laggy higgy.
Phillips.
Laggy higgy.
Maybe.
Okay, so it is. I mean, is it good looking though?
No.
Yeah, it's not very good looking.
Same with the datograph. I would rather have one with a
Yeah,
black
I
one.
agree. I agree on that one.
But it's interesting to know that those exist. You know, we've been talking about the white GMT master, if it exists or not. So apparently Rolex made those oddballs.
Yeah, I agree.
So we have here a unique cased Patek Philippe sold for 215,000. Apparently a unique piece from a guy. His name is Gilbert Albert, and he also
Yeah.
created that Cobra prototype that was then adopted by Uhrwerk.
Yeah, Gilbert Albert was is a jeweler, jewelry artist. May I say it like this?
Does he have a shop in Geneva, or did he?
Yes, I think he used to, but I don't think Gilbert Albert is in business anymore.
Mhm.
But I do know Gilbert Albert because my mother has some jewelry made by him.
Interesting.
So yeah.
Okay, here we have a Patek Philippe chronograph with brigade numerals that are enameled on the dial. But look at those lugs.
That looks very, very blocky.
I think they are gorgeous.
You think they're gorgeous? The
Yes.
only thing I don't like is that they are blocky on the top and rounded on the bottom. I don't know. What do you think?
You're such a mood killer, Swis. Come on.
I mean, look at it. It's like
I'm trying to get
it's
a
like
little bit excited. Yes, and if you have it
it's
sharp
like
and
floppy
scratching,
underneath.
then if you have it sharp and scratching on your wrist, you would moan anyhow.
Not
So
really.
of course, it's rounded to prevent people like you complaining and returning watches. Because okay, so what do we have here? It doesn't jump to the back.
A few Cartier. By the way, did you see? I think was it in this auction or in the Christie's auction? I don't remember. There is a Cartier Cintré that went for like 400,000 or something crazy like that.
No, that I haven't
Yeah.
seen. So here the first 24.99 went for over 3 million. We all know how rare they are. I think 3 series, altogether 350 chronograph perpetual calendar, being regarded as one of the most beautiful Pateks. So
I like it, but I don't know why the crown is so disproportionate compared to the pusher. That's my
because it's a
only
manual winding watch, and you need some torque.
only thing.
I always like to see the different distance to the crown from the
Yeah.
bottom pusher to the top.
But the
It's a
dial
beautiful
is
watch.
really well done.
Yeah.
Really well made.
Is
The
it?
proportions are good.
I also like that domed case shape. Some of them are a little bit slim, and those are a little bit fatter, which I enjoy.
That's true.
So is it 3.2 million? I don't know.
Probably not.
But they're always bringing solid money.
Yeah.
So here we have something a Milgauss, you say?
Milgauss.
You say Milgauss?
Well,
Because my French,
depends. In French, I would say Milgauss,
yeah,
but
my
I
French
know that
friend.
Gauss was a German guy, so
Yeah.
Gauss,
Okay.
since it's a name.
So that is an untouched, almost
That is
unworn.
such a pristine condition.
But is it 2.2 million?
I don't know. You tell me.
It was 2.3.
2.2 million. Oh, damn.
It's
That's a
considered
lot.
to be the best condition, most complete Milgauss ever existed. One of the first series with that red triangle here. So yeah, really nice thing. It's a shame that somebody buys that and puts it then back in the safe.
Yeah, but if nobody did that in the first place, there would be no pristine condition watch.
Yep, that's true. So the dial is a so-called honeycomb dial. We have Bear Clooney here in the comments. He says, I hope to see Rolex reissue that Milgauss. Amazing design. I agree with you.
Yeah, me too. I agree 100%. It is such a cool combination. Yeah, it's really, really, really good. And I'm still stunned about how good this one looks. I mean, the dial shows barely any aging, like barely.
Yeah. Have you tried that on?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Yeah, that is part of the description. The dial shows almost no aging, and I think there is a wrist shot. You can't see it because
Sacrilege. No,
but it's really thick. From this image, you can get a sense that it's really thick, and that is because of that soft iron casing that prevents magnetism.
Yeah.
But you know, Bear is not getting enough from that design, and I agree with him. It would be such a cool thing if Rolex would reissue some of their old models. And you know, I'd love to see the GMT Master without the crown guards. I would love to see the Submariner without the crown guards. It would be so cool that they would do a historic line, but I don't think they will ever do that.
Yeah, because if they do that, then they won't have the time to make OP with bouncy balls and date with emojis.
Yeah, they would be running out of creativity, you think? Okay, so next lot, and that was really a disappointment, I must say, is Anders in Genève. They had a world timer here called the Columbus. It only sold for 12,000 Swiss francs. I think partly because of that odd arrangement of the crowns. What do you think, Swiss?
I think this looks so good, and it's really thin for a world time.
Yeah. It also shows the route that Columbus did on his journeys to America. So it's
Is
really
it in
cool
white gold?
Say it again?
Is it in gold?
The case is in gold. One second. The dial has is I think in enamel. 1 second. Let me check. The dial is beautiful, adorned with a Chinese lacquer. It doesn't say if it's gold or not.
But the case is gold, right?
The case is gold, yes.
So just, you know, buying a gold watch for $12,000 is already considered something nice, right?
Yeah.
So not only that, but you get a world time made by an independent watchmaker.
And you get a really cool case back. I have no idea what it is. But I think it looks really cool.
Definitely. Yeah, that is so good.
There was a significant amount of effort being put in that watch. You know, the certificate here. So it's really, really nice. It's really disappointing that it's not further appreciated, I must say. I would say that watch is more worth than 12,000 Swiss francs.
Well, at least 25 in my opinion, but
somebody got a bargain because it also looks very good in condition.
Absolutely. And I think the J.N. Shapiro was also rather a good bargain.
So can you tell me about the Shapiro, because I have no idea what that watch is all about.
So I know only very I have a very limited knowledge about J.N. Shapiro, but from what I recall, he is one of the rare watch artisan from the US, and his specialty is the beautiful dials that he does. And if you zoom on the dial, you can look that It has a beautiful enamel pattern, and the guillochage is extremely fine.
Where's
If
the
you look,
enamel pattern?
so this one is, I don't think this one is enamel,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
the guillochage is made by hand. It has like 3 different patterns. There's the ring on the extremity, then the center piece, which has a different guillochage pattern, and the small seconds, which has a very specific pattern that he created and calls it, I think it's called the infinite weave.
Okay.
And it is absolutely beautiful. And yeah, you can see on the small seconds, it ends with a little
Eternity.
infinity symbol. Yeah.
Oh,
So
interesting.
it is some very high-end, artisan work. Movement is
The
really
movement
good.
looks really gorgeous. Do you know what the base movement is?
I don't know. I do not know,
So
but
from the
I can
description,
tell you, but that the final product looks really good.
yeah. I must say, we had that discussion yesterday when I was appearing on Archie, and I didn't say I don't know anything, and it looks blunt, but I have to pedal back, seeing that movement and the finishing of the movement. I must say, great respect, and from the price 24,000, that was still relatively cheap, I must say.
Yeah. And it is made in the US, and
Yeah, that would have been my next question. Is it signed, made in the US? No.
no, but I don't know. I think there isn't enough people who take pride into this guy's work, and yeah, I think it was a good price. Well, as in a good bargain.
Yeah, I agree with you. Should we pull that up, Philippe Dufour?
Yeah, sure. Philippe Dufour Simplicity. What's the price that it got?
762,000.
Damn.
Yeah, 34 millimeter white gold. I think we discussed that, but I'm not sure if I forgot it. But I think I remember white gold was the most common case material that he used. I think he didn't use very often yellow gold. I think we had this discussion.
Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I've seen a few of white gold, a few rose gold, platinum he does. I never saw a yellow gold.
I think we saw
No.
one at an auction where they pointed it out how rare
Probably.
it is. Yeah.
Maybe.
So I think because of the fact that he did relatively many of those white gold, that is 750 and not a million. That is only my guess. I'm not a Philippe Dufour expert. I just appreciate the movement finishing here.
Yeah.
And the
Yes.
fact, and the rancher pointed on that yesterday.
Yeah.
Can you see here metallum?
Yeah. The
written on
dial is made by Metallem.
No, it's even written down on the dial.
Yes. Yeah. You can see it, Metallem.
And by the way, Tanzil, this eye here of that hand, that is black polished. Okay, so let's go on. Should we pull that Daniel Roth up, or?
Not really. Not for me.
So Cartier, asymmetric, not really interesting, I would say.
No, not really.
Platinum Daytona reached 177,000, so it's still worth a lot of. No, that reached 177 because of the Arab numerals, which is really rare.
Yeah, I would have expected more, to be honest.
Sticker,
but
still.
Maybe the hype is going down. Maybe those Emirati people do not. I don't know. I would have thought at least 250,000.
Don't you think they made plenty for the Arab?
I don't think so. I think it is extremely rare. I know that they made plenty of the Day-Date. This they made plenty, but of the Daytonas, I think it's extremely rare.
Doesn't say here numbers or anything. Okay, so let's move on. Jumps always to where it wants. And I have to go back. So Cartier, not interesting. I think that that Patek Philippe perpetual calendar is pretty cool. Platinum with that two-tone dial.
Yes.
Went
And
for
is it
100.
the one that has the advanced research? Can you have a look at the movement?
Oh, of course. Oh, you're right. Oh, I didn't know that. I haven't seen that. Good point.
Yeah, see, it has a magnifying lens over
Yeah.
the
Over the
over
escapement.
the escapement, and it has that weird escapement balance thing.
Yeah.
Um,
It's a
and
balance lever and not a balance wheel.
yeah, there we go. And when they usually do, try out a new piece of technology within a watch, they do it in limited numbers and call it advanced research and double the price. And usually it sells very well.
Yeah, I think that those are rare numbers,
Yeah,
300 only.
like
So
it's like basically when AP does the concept watches.
so do you think that is too cheap, that it's well priced? What do you think?
What was the price?
133 platinum.
I think it's okay. I think it's a well-deserved price.
So we have here Daytonas. I will skip over them. We have here Grand Seiko Micro Artist that sold for 38. That retailed for 60,000. So Grand Seiko is still being sold at a bargain, I would say.
Yeah, struggling a bit.
But that is also a huge watch, I must say. That's really, I think that is 43 or 44. It's a chunky thing. I have a friend who owns one, and he says it's almost unwearable because that has an 8-day power reserve spring drive, and so there are mainspring barrels stacked over each other, and it's really a big and heavy watch.
Okay,
But
I
it's
didn't know
nice.
that.
It's nice because they shaped that movement bridge here like Mount Fuji. Can you see that?
Yeah.
And you can see the micro artist logo here, that little crown.
Well, I think it's a bit of a stretch, but okay. I
With
get
Mount
the
Fuji, you
poetry.
mean?
Yeah, with Mount Fuji.
They mentioned it right from the beginning, so I believe that
Yeah.
that was true.
No, I think I believe them when they say it was the general idea, but I think it's a bit, yeah.
Okay, so if you allow me, I would go to 57, that minute repeater.
Yeah.
Minute repeater world timer. Very interesting watch because they use a stock image from the Patek catalog, and I thought, why are they doing that? And then it gets weirder because they have this image, and if you look at that image, there is some chipping here. Can you see that?
Yeah, I can
So
see that.
that lip on the bezel is chipped, but then they show the watch being sealed totally. So apparently they were cobbling together some stock pictures that they had just to make it more interesting. So apparently this is a pristine, never been worn, never been used watch, still sealed with the extra case back and also with the corrector pin and the deployment buckle here sealed. So everything is sealed up. I think those go for 500,000, 550,000, sold for 1.168 million Swiss francs. The follow-up for this watch is now the one in platinum. Is it platinum? Yeah, I think it's platinum with a different motif on the guilloche dial, cloisonné dial. And they're at the moment gathering interest who is chosen to be allowed to pay that money for this particular watch. I find
That
it
is
interesting.
yeah, that's a beautiful watch. What size
Beautiful,
it is?
and
What
also a
size?
very good investment if you're one of the lucky ones. 42 millimeter,
Oh, it's too big.
slightly. But it was my favorite watches and wonders. Oh, here, Mr. GMT is calling us out. Can you read that while I'm trying to find the Patek?
Yeah, Mr. GMT, are you guys having a competition today to see who can pull us to sleep first, for fuck's sake? Lift up the energy. Or are you guys trying to put yourself to sleep? Which one is it?
It's
You
the
know
last
what?
one.
I think I'm I'm close to bedtime over here. It is 10:20 in the evening. You know what? What about we make one or two more watches, and then we can pick it up again next time.
Yeah, sure. Why not? So I just wanted to show the recent watch. It is in white gold, not in platinum. I screwed that up. I think that motif here with that steamboat on the Geneva River is nicer than the other one. One second.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. That's a better pattern.
So that is the old one with the sailboat. So I like the new one a little bit better. But anyhow, when you have the privilege to be chosen to pay this kind of money, I think your value is safe, and you don't have to worry about value retention. But wear your watches and enjoy them. Okay, so you take the last two picked, Swiss. No,
Okay.
I have one that I really want to show.
Okay.
Should I do mine first, and
Yes.
you have
Yeah,
the
yeah.
time to pick up one? So one of my favorite ones was from Patek Philippe, surprisingly. Have a look at this. It's not a wristwatch, it is a pocket watch.
Oh, I thought you were clicking on the trash can, but yeah.
No, I was clicking on the non-trash can. How do you like that, Swiss?
Let me have a look. So it has some tarnishing, some
Yes.
heavy tarnishing, especially at 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
The enamel centerpiece is okay. I don't know why there is a palm tree in the middle of the ocean. Other than that, I don't know about the hands. That our hand looks like a belt buckle, I should
Like
say.
a crown, I would say.
Really? You think that's a crown?
Yeah.
To me, you know, it looks like those buckles that you would have on your shoes
Yeah, yeah.
in the 80s. Very old style.
You know that I don't like those observatory hour hands on the recent world timers, and I'm really excited to see a different hand. Just by the way, on that new one here, they have a similar shape, a little bit simplified shape, but they don't have those observatory hands. But this watch appears in many books, and in our favorite article about cloisonné dials. I think we discussed that article from A Collected Man, and that was the headline picture. And I think it's an iconic dial, an iconic combination, and I really love it. I give you that there is tarnishing, and it looks a little bit alarming. Mike the Snake actually was making a good comment. Maybe there is a kind of contact electricity that causes that tarnishing, because you can see here the tarnishing on the case that corresponds then on the dial. So maybe the dial is touching the case, and there is a kind of discharge of electric potential. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's just there was some moisture at that part. I don't know.
Would you leave the watch like that? If you would be the lucky owner, regardless of how much you paid, would you leave it like that, or would you try to get it restored?
That is a very good question. I think I would try to remove the oxidation on the case. I would not really touch the inner parts.
I agree with you, but I wouldn't even retouch the case. I would wear the watch, and that would wear off, very much likely.
Probably. You know what? You're probably true.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you're right.
So this was with a low estimate, 280,000. The lowest estimate was like 250. So quite reasonable, beautiful movement, but pocket watches are difficult still. By the way, that watch left the factory initially with a silver dial, then was not sold for 5 years, then came back to Patek Philippe, and then they installed the enamel dial.
Interesting.
I like it very much. Okay, your pick.
Yeah, I still question the palm tree in the middle of the ocean. I would like to grant a request to Thomas Burnett, who said, "Hey, Swis and John, what do you think of lot number 82?
82? Okay,
Yeah,
let's go.
a 1962 Breguet diver that they should definitely reissue. It went for 120,000, 3 times the lower estimate." Let's have a look. So I guess this is a very, very early Breguet diver, because Breguet. No, wait. So we all know that Blancpain and Rolex both did their divers in 1953. Apparently, this was in 1962.
37 millimeter.
So do we know when the 50 fathoms came onto the market? Is
I think
that like a...
I think it was almost the same time. I think
Okay,
the
so
dispute is 50 fathoms was ready earlier than the Submariner, and the Submariner was presented earlier than the 50 fathoms.
yeah, that is interesting. From Breguet, it doesn't really it very much resemble like a Type 20, but without the chronograph and with a rotating bezel.
That is my thought as well. It gives me Type 20 vibe, and I think Thomas has a good point. I think Breguet, if they really like the Aeronaval or Type 20, 21, if that is part of their strategy still, they should expand to a non-chronograph diver watch.
Yeah. By the way, very tiny detail, but how cool is that to have the receipt? You can see it behind it, and everything is handwritten
in
with
ink.
a fountain pen.
Yeah.
That is so nice. Par guichet à 3 heures, gradué avec index, machin, mouvement 11 lignes et demie. That is so good. I wish my watches came with such a nice document.
Yeah.
Breguet, Place Vendôme à Paris. The 12th of October, 1962. You can see it's written.
Yeah. But also from the mothership, Place Vendôme, can't get any better.
Yeah.
And apparently it's very rare, because 120,000 Swiss francs is a strong price for a vintage Breguet. I think those Type 20s don't go at that
even
range.
the military ones, they don't get this much.
So
I think.
somebody really wanted that.
Yeah.
Probably the Breguet Museum. You never know. Okay, Swis.
Yeah, I think, well, we went through a first half of the lots. Maybe we can come back next time to do the other half. And
if you're available, it will be
Yeah.
my pleasure.
very
So
good.
should we make the appointment already for next Saturday, Swis?
Let me check on my agenda. I have a lot of things right now, but Saturday. Saturday I should be available. So
Okay.
let's make it next Saturday.
Okay. If you can't, then I will put a notification that it will be delayed.
Very good.
Okay.
Thomas Burnett saying thank you for bringing that up. No problem. My pleasure.
Thank you for bringing for giving us the idea. Or was that on your radar anyhow?
No. That was Thomas's lead.
Very good. Good. So I'm posting here the link for the after show. You probably won't be there. I'm also having a short after show a little bit later. Thank you to everybody who joined us here in the chat, supported us. Thank you to everybody who is watching that afterwards. Thank you to Mr. GMT for giving us the motivation that we need. And what else is to be said?
See you next time.
Run the trailer. Bye-bye.